Organizations that are going to survive have started valuing business growth and customer experience matrices equally, right? But organizations that are really going to thrive are indexing on customer experience more and then finding an organic path to business growth.
Joining us today is Saurabh Khullar, Chief CX Officer at the TVS Motor Company. TVS Motor is an Indian multinational and the fourth largest two-wheeler manufacturer in the world. Saurabh has been instrumental in evolving customer experience across their audience journeys. Welcome, Saurabh. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, Leandro.
So tell me, there's transformations happening all around us, but specifically in your industry. What's happening?
I think in automotive, the connected vehicle technology is really changing the game. Because historically, maybe it's been more transactional, but I think new business models are emerging from connected tech. Because now when customers are riding our motorcycles, TVS, we know so much more about their riding behavior. We know what functionalities they like to use. It's not just vehicle engineering anymore, it's software engineering sort of merged with vehicle engineering, right? And then unlocks models like subscription, value-added services, right? Just the engagement touch points that customers now have with an OEM is so much more. So I think that's the big disruption, right? And then models emerging from that.
Fascinating. And so how many, give us the scale, how much data are we talking about? There's a lot of data here, and this is a recent thing as well, right?
So last year we had about 50 million miles of connected rides that our customers took, right? And we get about 100 different parameters consistently. So it's not just for customers, but just for us as well. It's for our R&D teams. We're able to understand, know the vehicle while it's not with us in our garages, right? We're able to send over their updates. So really unlocks a lot of engineering potential as well, not just customer experience. That really makes for a holistic roadmap, and then we're able to plan for our products.
So talking about data, how are you using it to personalize the customer experience?
Let's take our electric portfolio as an example, right? Your driving behavior would tell me how many times a day you charge your vehicle, right? Your driving behavior would tell me where you charge your vehicles. TVS, we really ceased to be an automobile manufacturer, and we're really a mobility solutions provider now, right? Which means that charging is a separate business model. So it's not just about selling vehicles, it's about selling mobility solutions, right? And I think that's where the big transformation is happening for customer experience.
Yeah, it's truly fascinating. It's like a whole new business model for your whole organization. So that was for the customer. You mentioned some internal examples as well, and the engineering that's required there. Tell us a little bit about that as well.
So we're able to now see how our vehicles are performing in different conditions, pretty much real time, right? And then sort of as we enhance products, we know which functionalities to enhance. And we also know what folks are using, right? So if you look at a connected vehicle and it'll have a host of features, but you're not really using all of them, are you?
No,
right?
not at all.
And maybe you're using 20% of them, but they're still investing in the other 80. And now when you launch subscription models, you know that you're going to be using just those 20 of them, right? And hence, that entire packaging can be customized to you. And then if I know what are the different kind of features you're indexing towards, are you looking to look at your performance metrics? Then I know that those are the features that you'll pick up faster as I launch the next versions of it. And I think that's where it becomes personal to you, because now you're getting recommendations towards the things that you like.
Yeah, it's a product manager's dream, right? So given your role, how do you think about the customer experience at your organization?
I think our strategy for customer experience starts with drawing customer journey blueprints. Right now, that's a common word in CX parlance, probably as common as the word AI. But it's easier said than done, right? And it unlocks certain tenets like change management in the organization, always on research, flexibility and freedom for customers. We really walk the customer's shoes throughout our customer journey across episodes, and then we're able to get business KPIs, which will lead to growth, and we're also able to get experience KPIs, which leads to satisfaction. Now, if you look at an organization, in most organizations, 80% of the people are going to be focused on driving revenue, but there's a 20% of us left driving experience. Right?
It's very important.
And how do you institutionalize that? And I think organizations that sort of index on customer experience more and find an organic path from that into business growth are the ones that are going to thrive. Look at word of mouth, right? You can't really buy it.
No.
And influencer marketing will get you so far. So real word of mouth is really going to come from your current customers' experiences, all right? And that's how experience sort of feeds into business growth. And that's the way that we look at customer experience.
Now, I believe you're doing some personalized marketing campaigns across urban and rural India. Can you share some examples?
I think when you look at marketing campaigns, content really sits at the edge, because that's when customers actually see. They don't see the stack; they actually see the content that's thrown at them, right? And then what we're able to do to personalize it is that you may engage with content indexed on, say, the performance of a vehicle. I might be attracted to the community and the riding community that we have. Now we're able to see what content engages you, and then use that content for your next nudge. And then depending on how you engage there, I use that context for your next nudge. So really it's like using real-time engagement information to actually configure your next campaign so that you move through the funnel with us, and we're actually showing you content that you're interested in instead of showing you 10 different things and you get to pick, you need to choose then as a user saying, hey, what am I interested in? But as soon as you give me certain cues, then I'm able to make it more personal to you.
And how has the Salesforce platform helped you with this? Is there a specific capability that has excited you?
The data cloud really excites us. As you traverse through the customer experience, at every touch points, we're now able to set a new way of measuring experience. So if you look at organizations globally, you'll have your buyer NPS, non-buyer NPS, product NPS, service NPS. These are sort of older NPS methodologies that have held most organizations in good stead. But now we're then able to see, hey, there's 20 more experience metrics across those journeys, and they become lead indicators rather than lag indicators. So I don't find out 8 weeks later that, hey, you had a bad experience 8 weeks ago, because you're already moved out of my ecosystem and I can't do much about it, right? But now I'm able to put that experience real time and then make interventions at the right time to ensure that you continue to deliver the experience that as TVS we want to deliver to you. So I think that ability to capture feedback at each stage of the journey and use that then to power marketing campaigns, I think that's the capability that Data Cloud allows us to do, and that's really a powerful one for us.
What I like is both the being able to get the data, but also the speed, right? Because the speed is critical right now, and you're in a competitive environment as well. Talking about speed, there's a lot of innovation coming at the moment. It's coming fast. Tell us a little bit about how you're thinking about AI.
I think AI is helping solve a lot of non-value adding activity internally for teams as well. We run about 1,000 campaigns a month, right? And it's not really manually impossible to audit all of the 1,000 campaigns to make sure that the content that's going out to users, is good and there aren't any errors in it, as an example. Very simple use case, right? But AI allows us to do that so that we ensure that before anything hits the customers, it's actually well vetted, right? That's one way to look at it. I think the other one that's really powerful for us is conversational AI. We've been using conversational AI for a while, and it feeds into a trend of sort of passive discovery, right? Where folks don't want to be time bound to say, I'm on your app and I have 4 minutes to discover your product and make a decision, right? You could engage with me passively, right? On a bot or on a WhatsApp, ask me a couple of questions now, get your information, come back the next day, ask me something else, come back the next day and ask me something else, and progressively.
Yes.
Right? So you do this at your convenience when you feel like it, instead of me trying to push stuff in your face. And I think that part of that conversational AI power is really, really great for us. We've seen early results that lift up to 30% of contactability. So that's something we're really excited about.
I love your element of scale and vetting. We think of that as well. Like, this is not necessarily going to replace the marketer, but gives them the ability to make sure their work is better and improve. Do you see that happening with your teams as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they can then focus on the more intelligent conversation and really let AI take care of some of the work that they don't really need to do themselves.
The high-value tasks.
That's right. That's right.
So tell me about your team. How have you brought them along on this journey? Are they willing and excited about the AI capabilities, or is this something you have to really push them or nudge them along with?
No, they're fairly excited about it. I think we have a way of engaging, sort of marrying customer experience with employee experience, because what we've done is we've sort of broken our teams into different squads, all right, under episodes of the journey. So essentially, in some of our businesses, they aren't essentially marketing folks or product folks or service folks, all right? They're just squad members under a particular episode, and they're empowered to sort of then deliver to that episode. And those KPIs, they're now able to link to a larger company objective instead of not knowing what my work is contributing large to the organization. Now I'm able to see a clear line of sight, right? And then we look at these enabler tech, and AI being one of them, and then they have the ability to then pick and choose for what they need to do, what stack and what capabilities they require. So I think it's a fairly engaging process, and I think that's the only way it can be successful, right?
Looking ahead, what's on your roadmap? What have you got that you're excited towards?
TVS has been consistently scaling globally as an organization. We operate in about 80 countries, right, through acquisitions in
Huge scale.
SCMG, Swiss Mobility Group, Ego Movement, based out of Zurich. We're in the e-bike business in a big way, right? Norton Motorcycles, based out of UK, was acquired by TVS a couple of years ago. I think the product portfolio is increasing for us in an interesting way, and we're also then able to see different business models operating different geographies, and then cross-learn across this and make this sort of center of excellence, which feeds our core TVS value and philosophy, right, of trust, customer obsession, disruptive mindset. So we're able to now feed these philosophies across the board. And I think that's something that's really interesting for us. I'd say the other one is future mobility, right? And I don't say the electric business or the electric vehicle business. I see future mobility with a certain intent, because future mobility has other business models attached to it. It's not just about making electric vehicles, right? There are business models for charging and charging infrastructure, right? So I think a lot of new business models that are coming into our organization and really making us a truly global mobility solutions provider. And that transition to automobile manufacturer, I think, is fairly complete. And I think that's the exciting part for us.
So we have an audience from folks all over the world, but also different levels of leadership. You're in the sort of crux of a lot of different transformations, and you've gone quite a long way as well. So what advice would you give to them?
I think the biggest advice would be that listen as closely as you can to your customers. Go as granular as possible. All right. Your customer is also a customer to a lot of other brands, other products. And all of them want to hear from that same person, right? Which means that I'm then essentially giving feedback to a bunch of people. And why should I give it to you, right? Which essentially means that you will need to listen harder, listen closer, and really understand customer insight in a nuanced fashion. And the ability to walk that path, right? Maybe my answer is more indexed to customer experience, because that's what I do.
That's your role, yeah.
But I do believe that organizations that are going to survive have started valuing business growth and customer experience matrices equally, right? But the organizations that are really going to thrive are indexing on customer experience more, and then finding an organic path to business growth, right? And I think that's really the mark of an organization of the future.
Well, we're truly aligned. We love putting the customer at the center, just like you do with your customers as well. So thank you again for your partnership, everything you're doing in the Salesforce ecosystem, and for spending some time with us today.
Thank you so much.